At this moment, as you can potentially see, I am not experiencing any form of burnout. Panic? Perhaps a little bit of panic. I got laid off a week ago today from this church communications job that I was working at. I don't have anything lined up at the moment, so panic is starting to set in slightly. I did give myself until Easter to figure out a next step or series of steps. That's March 31st this year, so I've got some time until true panic. That's part of the reason why I'm making these YouTube videos each day or 3 to 4 times a week. I just want something new to experiment with. Seems noble, right? So, I'm not burnt out right now. I am sitting in the rain in my little screened-in back area, but I'm not burnt out. But I do want to talk about burnout for a second. We write tons of articles about burnout. We have entire conferences in the last 5 years where the theme of the conference is burnout. It's very much a term of the last 5-10 years, the moment. But does anyone actually care? The short answer is no. Most bosses do not care about your burnout, and they look at what's obviously signs and forms of burnout and they think, wow, Judy's really getting after it this month. That's almost 100% of executive level thinking and probably 50 to 70% of middle management thinking. You always have to remember that at a job, especially a white collar job, money flows up, bullshit flows down. In that ecosystem, anything that can be perceived as additional effort, such as answering emails off the clock, is always a primary example. That's also contextualized as, oh, this might be getting us more money and revenue from someone down the line. Because that's more important to higher levels. They have no real desire or incentive to deal with burnout. It makes them feel good to see you burn a candle at multiple ends. In their minds, it means more revenue is forthcoming. Usually the solution to burnout inside an organization is either reduced price yoga or gym memberships, or it's something that HR owns. I can't put this any more simply but to say anything that HR owns is not a real priority or care of the top ranks of an organization. HR is where noble initiatives go to die and always has been. And while a slightly cheaper gym membership is cool, you also might sign up for the layoff list if you don't practice digital presenteeism and always have your team's green light on. So enjoy the cheaper gym post-layoff. I've regularly heard burnout referred to in business media as some type of crisis, but for something to be a crisis, people with authority and ability to change it need to actually care about it. That's not true in corporate, where honestly burnout is more of a badge of honor than anything. How many people love being busy? How many people, if you ask them anything about work during the week, they're going to default to telling you how much they have going on? Burning out means you're trusted and on top of things, and it's just an omelet-egg scenario for a lot of white-collar workers. You obviously couldn't be this good at work without being a little bit burnt out. Middle managers and execs love that. So it's not a crisis. If anything, it's like a badge of honor. Final thing. I've seen this new genre of articles in the last 6 months about how AI is going to solve burnout. That theory says AI frees us up to do more productive work. So far it makes sense. That's been the through line talking point on AI for 5 years. The problem is a lot of white collar work is honestly just pointless paper pushing at this point. If AI takes that over, there really isn't that much extra work to be done. And anyone with an IQ over 70 realizes AI will lead to some layoffs. We debate the exact number, but we know it'll lead to some. So while it might open me up to be more productive and focus on joyful and positive things like the ability to learn piano or something, I'll also be doing that without the ability to pay for groceries. And as someone in that situation right this second, the inability to pay for groceries, I can tell you it's not blissful. And while I'm not burnt out by any turds over the work fence at this moment, I'm stressed by lack of income. So if AI cures burnout but takes your job, that's also not the best trade-off. Alright, I've rambled for a bit. What would you say your take on burnout is?